Contemplation before chanting. The Sangha is invited to come back to our breathing so that our collective energy of mindfulness will bring us together as an organism, going as a river with no more separation. Let the whole Sangha breathe as one body, chant as one body, listen as one body, and transcend the boundaries of a delusive self, liberating ourselves from the superiority complex, the inferiority complex, and the equality complex. I take refuge in the Buddha, the one who shows me the way in this life. I take refuge in the Dharma, the way of understanding and of love. I take refuge in the Sangha, the community that lives in harmony and awareness. Taking refuge in the path of light and beauty in the world, dwelling in the refuge of Dharma. I learn to open many doors on the path of transformation, dwelling in the refuge of Sangha, shining light that supports me, keeping my practice free of obstruction. Taking refuge in the Buddha in myself, I aspire to help all people recognize their own awakened nature, realizing the mind of love. Taking refuge in the Dharma in myself, I aspire to help all people fully master the ways of practice and walk together on the path of liberation. Taking refuge in the Sangha in myself, I aspire to help all people build fourfold communities, to embrace all beings and support their transformation. Con về nương tựa Bụt, người đưa đường chỉ lối cho con trong cuộc đời. Nam mô Buddhaya. Con về nương tựa Pháp, con đường của tình thương và
trên con đường thực tập. Nam mô Sanghaya. Về nương một trong con xin nguyện cho mọi người thể nhận được giác tỉnh sớm mở lòng Bồ Đề. Nam mô Buddhaya. Về nương pháp trong con xin nguyện cho mọi người nắm vững các pháp môn cùng lên đường chuyển hóa. Nam mô Dharmaya. Về nương tăng trong con xin nguyện cho mọi người xây dựng nên bốn chung nhiếp hóa được muôn loài. Nam mô Sanghaya. Buddhang saranang gacchami. Dhammang saranang gacchami. Sanghang saranang gacchami.
I forgot his name. I met him. What is his name? What is your name? Huh? Frankie? Nice to see you. Do you remember? I think 2 weeks ago, huh? You came up here? And I taught you meditation in the garden. You gonna come sit up here with me? You okay? Bring a cushion. You need a cushion? No? Okay, come sit next to me. Wonderful. Come sit right here. We learned meditation last time he was up here. And he sat, you want to sit on the soft thing? Sit on here, yeah. Okay, for your leg. Do what we did in the garden, okay? Except this time we're going to have a bell. See? The bell will help us. There you go, for your leg. It's good. Put your hand, there you go. So everyone sit beautifully. Sit like you're the Buddha. You're sitting on a lotus, fresh lotus in the morning. Feel the lotus under you. Feel the dewdrop on your forehead. We're going to listen to the bell, okay? And let's close our eyes. When you close your eyes, you have another eye. That's an eye of awareness. See that? You don't need your eyes, your flesh eyes. Your two eyes, just one type of eye. So close your eyes and don't look around. You open your eyes, you're very easy distracted. When you close your eyes, come back to an inner eye of being aware. First thing you're aware is your body sitting. I see some of the adults still have their eyes open. They want to look around. We're not here to look around. We're here to look at ourselves inward. Your eyes closed. You see yourself sitting, body warm, your fingertips. You can feel everything. That's an inner eye, an eye of awareness. And you're aware of your breath. Follow your breath as it enters your nostril, filling your lungs, right, giving rise to your belly. If you want to look, don't look. You want to open your eyes, don't open your eyes. Still and look with the third eye of awareness. Aware of our breath going in, aware of our breath going out, aware of our breath short or long. Each breath coming deeper, slower. Breathing in, aware of my body. Breathing out, I relax my body. It fall to the earth. In, body. Out, relax. Hear the three sounds of the bell. Allow the sound of the bell to relax us. Each sound dissipates. Same with our tension, stress. Letting each sound relax us, our body and our mind. Following the breath, following the out breath. Thank you. Thank you, Frankie. How did that feel? How did you feel?
Good.
Yeah? So happy to see you today. Wow, I came up here and I looked down like, oh wow, Frankie's here. My new friend. Your sister come? Yeah? She here? I don't see. Where is she? Oh, there she is. Ah, she's not sitting behind you, huh? And your mom. Did you guys take the Uber this time?
Yes.
You took another Uber? Wow, that's so...
Uber.
The same Uber. It's so far to take an Uber. So those who have come from LA area, maybe they can come up to you and offer you carpool next time. Yeah? And you can have a Sangha friend in your car. That would be cool, huh?
Yeah.
Yeah, there's a lot of people. So those who are from LA, find Frankie and carpool with Frankie, okay? They need 3 seats from LA, okay? I'll do a call out for you. Thank you, huh? Thank you for coming, sitting up here with me. Dear respected teacher, dear noble community, today is Visak Day. It's also the birthday of a Mother's Day. Yeah, Mother's Day. Birthday of the Buddha, Mother's Day. And it's also a happy day, day of gathering. And yeah, it's just so happy to see everyone. The monks and nuns were a little nervous because the number that register is like 600-700 or something. And I was like, well, you haven't been here when Thay is here. It's like in the thousand, you know, like over 1,000 people would gather here. So no matter what you're eventually gonna go home, right? And we'll still be here. So it's all relative to how you see things, time, and how time is spent. So I hope you enjoy your day today and remove any expectation. You have a group of students. How many are you here? 30 something from UCSD, and their first time here. So I imagine they're like brand new. They're like, wow, what is going on here? So I appreciate their professor, their whole class. For Mother's Day, I hope you called your mom already, or if not, call her later. Yeah, to celebrate. A gift to have this life because of our parents. No matter how much trying it is in our growing up, or even now as we're teenagers and young adults, we're still grateful for our parents. No matter what, your eyes, your hair, your little fingers, my hand has these dots, and every time I look at them, I cannot help but think of my dad. And his skin used to stay, like you pinch it up like that, and it just stays there. And I was like, whoa. And now my skin is starting to do that. And so I am grateful for my dad to give me my skin, these little dots. So not just your mom, your dad, many, many things. So today, Mother's Day. And my mom is here, my niece is here somewhere in the crowd. So lovely to have them here. Last night we went to the Happy Farm and picked up vegetable, and I came up here and I treated them to eat white rice with wild red vegetable, like a goose foot. My mom has never eaten weed before, so I picked a bunch of weed and we ate it with rice to pretend like we're in a Vietnam village and we don't have anything to eat and there's no Costco. Just go out in the field and pick whatever you have and come home and eat with soy sauce. And we had chili though. My mom loves chili. And we ate rice with weed. And it was so, and the moon was there. So that was my Mother's Day celebration. Coming in touch with her childhood. She grew up in a village. So that was a very special moment to touch her grandma. Her grandma raised her when she's an orphan. Her parents died during the war. So it was nice to eat a village meal, huh? Very simple. But it makes it so rich because you have so little. So that's a little shout for think of what your mom likes to do or something that would be meaningful and find a way one day. It doesn't have to be today. It doesn't have to be tomorrow. But do it for her, before you're still young and she's still healthy. And if she's not with us, you can do it in her spirit, in her memory. So you do the things that your loved ones love to do, and they become alive. A way of celebrating. It's the same thing with the Buddha, right? To celebrate the day of his birth, how do you celebrate? You also do the things that he loved to do. You just sit still and waste your time. You don't need to do anything. We're so productive in this country. Yeah, like to use, lately I've been using the word wasting time because it annoys people. Because it's like nobody wants to waste time. But someone who had deliberately wastes their time is the richest person on earth. Especially if you're in a country like this, right? No, we're so afraid to waste our time. I gotta grab a book. Oh, I gotta look at my email. Oh, I better catch up. The wasting time is a luxury now. It's weird, huh? All of modern society and progress and all that is to try to like make our lives better and have more time. But do you see that happening? You know, with our computers and science and stuff, we're supposed to become more like happy and productive. So if the Buddha was alive today, he would tell us to do that. And it's just enjoy being alive and unproductive. So that's one thing the Buddha would love for us to do on the day to day. And we'll have that. We'll have a ceremony of bathing the Buddha, so on. And I'll share more about that. So there's many ways to celebrate Vesak, the day of the Buddha was born, depending on, you know, where you're at and what tradition you're in. Right now, I think in traditional Vietnamese temple, it's like very, it's a little bit more festive and more like flower. What do you call this thing? Floats, flower floats. Yeah, there's a lot of great, like the Rose Parade kind of thing. Very flowery and a lot of money and a lot of things. This morning I saw the sister decorate and they picked like mustard flower leaf, you know, from the field out there. Cây nhà lá vườn. It means you use what you have around the village in your backyard, you know, rather than spending hundreds and hundreds of dollars buying like flowers. They went and picked flowers in the field, and I love that. And they are also beautiful. So right now in other temples, they are celebrating as well. And it's how we celebrate depends on our understanding of who the Buddha was. And the Buddha was a human being. Thay is kind of updated that or heightened that fact. He was a person, a prince that lived in India 2,500, 600 years ago. He's a human being just like us. And he's lived a very privileged life. They call him like a princely life, very abundant, you know, like luxurious things, a lot of sense stuff, I'm sure. And also protected from seeing the suffering. Dad was quite protective of him, like helicopter dad, and didn't want him to suffer, didn't want him to see suffering. So you can imagine growing up like that, and then when you hit young adult, the rebellious seed in the Buddha came up. Like, no, I gotta go out, I gotta sneak out. Gotta climb out of that window and like see the world. So this is not historical, by the way. This is my interpretation. And it rings to me, you know, that the Buddha didn't want to be protected. He wanted to do what his parents, opposite of what his parents want, especially his dad. So he explored and he started seeing things. Seeing suffering, seeing the nature of society, and seeing how his dad suffers, trying to like run a country, seeing the politics, the human interaction, saw all this suffering that was happening. So that also had a lot of doubt about this path. So he was kind of like he kind of became a little dis-ease with himself, because he began to see how adults are around him. So this is the beginning of a search. The Buddha searching for a way to relieve suffering and to end suffering in himself. And I think we've all have gone through that in our families, in growing up, in our partners, in our raising a family, this challenge. So this is the origin of this tradition. So the Buddha is not just a god. Later on, as Buddhism evolved, the humans love to deify things, so they made the Buddha into a god to worship and to come and pray for good fortune and blessings and so on. And to ask for help. Please help me, Buddha, That's one type of Buddhism, a devotional Buddhism. And the other type is called insight Buddhism. One is Tín Môn, kind of like Tín Môn is like based on faith, belief, the way of that tradition. And there's the insight, or more kind of like Quán, insight. Insight Buddhism, where actually from understanding and insight, you are saved. You save yourself from understanding and from breaking free from all these notions that you have, and that liberates you. So Thay would say the salvation through insight, not through grace from divine entity, a god or so on. So traditionally we would actually do devotional, and you pray to the Buddha and his birth and this person in India more than 2,000 years ago. And that's a way of touching and celebrating this person, this Indian person. And there's another way to actually use that and reflect on what the Buddha achieved when he got enlightened. You realize kind of connection, an interbeing between him and others, between suffering and happiness. So we can also touch that. So it's the insight that he achieved, we can also achieve that. And this is what moved the Buddha to go around India to profess this tradition, all the way down to now. And this is I don't know if that's clear, but there's a kind of Buddha where it's outside of you, that you pray to, you ask for blessing and so on. And then there's the Buddha nature in us. And the chanting that the monks and nuns did has 3 stanzas, right? One is I take refuge in the Buddha. And then the second stanza is dwelling in the Buddha, right? So the Buddha is present, and that is awareness. And then the last is taking refuge in the Buddha within myself. So this is a nature. We all have that ability, that awareness, being present. And this, in the human evolution, is what happened to this human being in India. So from Africa, all these humanoids, I guess, what do they call them? Homo. Before the sapiens was what? Neanderthals, right? And they moved, and then they were like around India, and they kind of turned around, went up to the Austro-European. But that you see also as a human family where it fits. So it's not a religious thing. Just see yourself as part of a human kind of glob, that we're like cancer, Good cancer, I hope. I really hope we are a good cancer to the planet. That we've evolved and our consciousness kept evolving, right? So the Buddha is the first to be recorded to kind of woke up and it's like, wow, I have awareness. and I don't have to jump around like a monkey. You know, the first kind of wake up is the first Neanderthal or like first Homo something, kind of like didn't have to like walk on all fours, right? Can you imagine? That was the first awakening. It went, ah, wow, I can see the world. Look at that. You know, so you can see the evolutionary evolution of our consciousness. Right? You see it like that, then you can see. Same thing with Jesus, with Muhammad, with all the great ones. They all are part of a human family that kind of woke up to something. And what did they wake up to? The nature, the true nature of all that is. Right? And most of us, we suffer because we don't hold that. We can't maintain that. So when we realize the commonality, the interconnectedness, the interbeing nature of not just us humans on this planet, but the planet to the galactic and cosmic forces. I mean, come on. You know, we're not the only special people on earth that has like iPhones and calendars, and it's like, come on. That's like a process. You see that? So you see like the bigger picture, and your lifetime, maybe 80, 90, and you're so obsessed with it. It's like, oh, but you see the evolution. Your parents will one day also return to the earth, just as you, just as your grandparents and your great-grand. Where are they? So you understand the process of no birth, no death. See the awakening of the Buddha? It's like, oh my God, everyone chill out. Why are we killing each other? Because of race, notions, and ideas. Because of us and other. And that is the birth of great compassion in the Buddha. After touching this truth of this reality, it's interconnectedness. First human being recorded, of course. Many others, probably in the caves and in the forest, also touched this. But I would say the Buddha was the first that was recorded to have this awakening to this truth. That we all, every human being, has the capacity to wake up to this truth. That's it. After he kind of like had this realization, the first thing he was doubting, like, man, it's going to be hard to let people know this. Because everyone's so set. Like, I'm like this is my belief, these are my principles, you know. And so he was tempted to not go around teaching this. But it's, you can touch it, right? Your awareness. And when you're not aware, what happens? You react habitually from your habit. So he began to touch a real true freedom. And this freedom is linked to how aware you are of what the forces that are moving us. Many of us behave and we think we're free, but actually we are a habit, a product of our culture, our upbringing, of our parents. You think you go shopping around holiday time is like your choice? No. Yeah. Is there a holiday coming up? No. Around Christmas, I love sometimes go down there and I listen to the music or on the radio. They're like happy Christmas music. And it makes you feel so good. And it makes you want to shop and buy things for your loved ones. You know, see? So it's a culture, a way of looking that creates habits. This is very important. So how much you're aware of these forces is how free you are. And everyone has that capacity. So it depends on you and what you want to reflect on, look deeply into. And that is your gauge in how free you are. So if you don't understand why you behave the way you behave because of your childhood, unprocessed, unreflected, then you continue to perpetuate your parents, your ancestors, in an unskillful way. This Everyone has the capacity to sit with their suffering, look at it, embrace it, and it heals. So even in our body, it has a natural, innate quality to heal itself. Just need to keep it clean, right? Any wound. You know, I've been to India and I've seen wounds that are like unhospitalized wounds. You know, they have no money to get, you know. And so the wound still heals even without medical intervention. Of course, it doesn't look nice and neat with the stitches and the scars, right? But I've seen legs and arms and necks and things that are like been broken, and it still heals. It's not straight and symmetrical as before, but this human being is still crawling around, smiling, and making artwork, and inspiring people who are like, you know, who are crippled to do artwork. Beautiful in Bhutan as well. So our body has an innate ability to heal and to find well-being. That is the nature of life, right? To heal and to go. And same thing with our consciousness. We've been hurt, we've been wounded, but we don't have trust that it will heal because we run away from our suffering and we deny some truth where it's scary. It's scary to look at a wound. You know, you see someone with a broken leg and the bones are sticking out. You don't want to look at that. So this is the awakening as well, that our innate ability to heal bodily wounds as well as psychological, spiritual wounds. This is what the Buddha discovered. This is what a human being discovered. There was no Buddhism in the time of the Buddha. There was just, actually he was a homeless person. Right now, he'd be wandering down in San Diego, and we probably were, you know, he just doesn't have a homeless. He left his castle, began to teach and go beg for his own food and to feel connected to the community. So I share that for you, for those who are new to our tradition, to give you a little bit a taste of what our teacher, how he's reframing Buddhism, not as a religious emphasis, but as a human journey, the human family, and what we have to transcend our culture, our nation, our allegiance, our beliefs, our creeds. These things are human-made, right? And are they helpful? This is our teacher's, and he gave rose to this. He emphasized this because he grew from a country that was in war. Thay developed this tradition we call engaged Buddhism or applied Buddhism. This particular plum village tradition, Buddhism, in a time of great suffering in Vietnam. Right when he became a monk at 16 years old. So he evolved this tradition, particularly from intense suffering. So there's no kind of like philosophizing, devotional kind of like somebody, Buddha, come and save us. No, people are being bombed and their villages being destroyed. So he had to find a Buddhism that is interactive and helping immediately. So these practices are quite practical and very relevant and accessible and effective. So this is the tradition that you're looking at and experiencing now. Is a kind of a contemplation, meditation in action while engaging. And action, engaging here is not like great social newsworthy thing. It's engaging your life, applying it into your life. So you can touch the Buddha nature, brushing your teeth, using the toilet, washing the dishes, eating with this awareness, like, oh my God, you evolved to grow broccoli. It's gone through many chains of distribution chains, right? Up to Costco. And then 2 monks go out there and buys it home. You see? And you become very grateful to the broccoli, to the sun, the rain. And this is the Buddha nature. When you eat in that way, you're not eating broccoli just for like iron and vitamin this and nutrient that. You're eating it as a gift from Mother Earth. See the awareness? So all of this depends on each one of us and how much we invest in our spiritual life. And this is how much we will relate to the world, to things, to food, to others. And this requires training. This, in our tradition, everything comes down to practice. To train our mind, to retrain our mind, to re-educate. Right now in our society, we're very trained with the phone and with kind of a culture that's like very, time-oriented and very intense productivity. Today is Sunday. How many of you have to go to work tomorrow? Monday. I used to be a worker in the field in Los Angeles. Try your best tomorrow morning to wake up and be grateful that you're still alive and that you have a job. I used to wake up on Sundays like, I'm on Monday, and it's so negative. Like I wake up on Monday and I'm immediately, so that's very unaware, right? These are some things I share just in general about our particular kind of tradition. Now I'll turn to my teacher's kind of a poem that he wrote that expresses all of that I've just told you. It's called Looking for Each Other. And this poem has a lot of... I'm very soft to this poem because it was the first time as a young man I followed Thay for 3 months in the U.S. He was going on a teaching tour with 30 monks and nuns. And on that teaching tour, all they sang at every retreat, including the English ones, this song. Someone put it into music, but this poem, Looking for Each Other. And it's one of the songs that kind of like broke my how do you call it, my dam. Resisting the what is inevitable and so fearful that you will lose everything. This song is the dam breaking song. That sounds weird. But it's we all have that, right? We have this kind of like, I'm gonna not give in to this heart opening. I'm not gonna cry. No, I'm not gonna cry. Don't cry, please don't cry. Yeah, it just, at the retreat, my shirt kept getting wet. And it's this poem comes from Thay's deep from his heart, in expanding it to touch all of our hearts, looking for each other. We are all on a journey. So please allow me to share, and I hope that I can share it. I'm sure it does not do justice. Is that what I'm saying? It won't do justice. But I'll do my best, because I don't think it's ever been shared in English. So looking for each other. I have been looking for you, world-honored one, since I was a little child. With my first breath, I heard your call, and began to look for you, Blessed One. When I came in here and I saw Frankie, it's just exactly like that. It's like I know you. And it's not just me and you now, but I've known you for a long time. When I first met Frankie, I felt like, he came up and hugged me and it was so close. Like children usually don't do that. They're very suspicious like that. But Frankie, I felt like he was my brother for a long time. If we were a Tibetan tradition, he would be locked in the monastery. Bye-bye, mommy. And we would test him and he'll stay here. But luckily, we're not the Tibetan tradition. But you can feel that. There's some people you meet, you're like, man, I know you from a long time ago. You see, these two lines, I've been looking for you, World Honored One, since I was a little child. With my first breath, I heard your call and began to look for you. And we've all, I think, being born, y'all are looking. Some of us are looking for a job, some are looking for a partner, some are looking for a meaning, looking for purpose, looking to heal our relationship with our parents, looking for a connection, looking for what is our purpose. This is the journey of a human being, huh? I mean, you're not here just to work and then retire and then die. That's, I mean, it's fine, but it's got to be more than that, right? Sorry if it offends anybody, you could do that, but I'm a little biased. I think there's more to it than that. There's something we call love, meaning, purpose, connection. You see the Buddha? You see human beings? You see children? You play with children, they are curious about everything. Why? Why is this happening? Why is there a moon? Why is there a moon? Nobody asks that. What is it doing up there? Only children will ask you that. And this is the original innate curiosity. We want to understand our world. I've walked so many perilous paths and confronted so many dangers, endured despair, fear, hopes, and memories. It's not easy because of our mind. It's prone in a particular way from our ancestors. My parents from a wartime, so there's this always anxiety, not having enough, fear, always, that energy. I can feel it in myself. So we've been transmitted many things from our parents and our ancestors and the place we come from on this planet. So it's not easy. Many dangers, many things test us, challenge us, confront us. It's not an easy path to travel, to find meaning, to find purpose. We have doubt, we doubt ourselves. That comes from a habit, maybe from your upbringing, how you were shared in one moment by your father. That stays with you, that wound, because it's not healed, it's not closed. So we try to find, what is it? Why do I keep doing this to myself? Why do I keep apologizing and feeling I'm not good enough? Those are the challenges as a human being. And to discover where that comes from is part of our path. Looking for each other is not looking just for a person. It's finding the way, finding peace for myself. Like the Buddha, he wanted to have that all subside and feel at peace because he just had a child And he didn't want to transmit that to his son, Rahula. So that's a deep love from a father. Not just to transmit the material things and, oh, you're good, you got a good certificate and you got a lot of stars and accolades, but to transmit a state of being peace and at ease with who you are. I've trekked to the farthest regions, immense and wild, sailed the vast oceans, traversed the highest summits, lost among the clouds. You see, Thay is touching all the ancestors of all the human beings, all the monks, nuns, and spiritual quests, all the yogis and saints. Can you see that? Each one of their journey to find out the truth, the goodness, the beauty of being human. They had to go many places. Someone died in the desert crawling to look for this truth. See the human family, the journey? So it's not just you and the Buddha is the only one that went looking for this. We've all done it. Some are still doing it. They're climbing crazy summits without rope. Because what are they looking for? They are looking for that adventure, but in truth they are looking for themselves. They're looking to satisfy that desire to touch that truth. And in education in universities, we also need to touch this. It's the spiritual journey. We're not here just to find a job and get hired by a great company. And you interview people, the ones who have purpose and have something much more bigger that relates to a spiritual path. I've lain dead and utterly alone. And some of us will hit a point of despair, of hopelessness, of emptiness. And you feel like no one can understand you. This is part of the journey as well. Eventually, you will have to face it. In the Asian tradition, they meet a tiger and they wrap the tiger with the string, or they meet a buffalo, they tame the buffalo, or an elephant, and they learn to ride it. In the Western culture is the going into the cave and meeting the dragon, right? Eventually, you will have to face it. But in the West, I think it's a little bit, maybe we need to update it. Rather than killing the dragon, actually, they learn to ride the dragon. Wouldn't that be cool? You don't need to kill the dragon, man. It's good. It's so cool. You can ride it. So we also have to treat the things that challenge us like that, not as evil or something for us to kill and conquer and to cut off, but learn to tame, to befriend, and then ride it. So all your anger, your pain, that dragon of a monster that really kills us and makes us hide in our room and not come out. You have to face it and befriend it. That is the path. Some of us will give up, will lie there and utterly exhausted on the sand and alone. And the Buddha also faced that. He tried to do ascetic practice, like starve himself and suppress his body. And he fainted on the riverside and someone came and a little girl gave him some rice pudding. He revived himself. So he also burnt out. I love to remind people, the Buddha burnt out. Yay! How many of you burnt out? I burnt out. All right, the Buddha burnt out. I hope that's not sacrilegious, but on today's day, the Buddha's birthday, we have to remember that Buddha was a human being, and he tried too hard to attain even the spiritual path. He tried to do really hardcore suppression, and he burnt out and fainted. And the little girl came and gave him some food, and then when he woke up, he realized, man, why am I trying so hard? Just chill out. Sorry, I have to make this a little bit funny, huh? I've lain dead and utterly alone on the sands of ancient deserts. I've held in my heart so many tears of stone. I love that line. So many tears of stone. You've cried so much, they become hard. They don't cry anymore. Tears of stone, they can't drip. I relate to this growing up in Los Angeles. Sometimes get so angry and tearful on the freeway, seeing how mean people are on the freeway. I was like, chill out. Why are you so mean? And you cry and you see the collective craziness. It's like, gosh, I know it's not like a war or anything, but it's still so, disparaging, each other. And many of us have felt that when you see and you're confronted with injustice, despair, war right now in Gaza. It's kind of like, the S word, yeah. It's so, it pains you. You can't even cry. It's how ignorant and hateful it is. Blessed One, I've dreamed of drinking dewdrops that sparkle with the light of the far-off galaxies. And we all have this dream that one day we'll heal. One day we can touch that peace. So in our search, you have faith that one day you'll touch that. That you drink dewdrops. And in the dewdrops, it reflects all the stars. Isn't that a beautiful image? That is the hope that we have that keeps us. And you dream of this. I've left footprints on the celestial mountains and screamed from the depths of the Avicii hells, exhausted. So you both touch the highs, this elation of wow, oh my God, I didn't react. Oh, it feels so good. You've also been the monster, the dragon yourself. And so you've been in hell, some of the things that we've done. I've done that as well. And we've destroyed a lot of things through our speech, our thinking, and our behavior. Exhausted, crazed, and with despair, because I was so hungry and so thirsty. For millions of lifetimes, I've longed to see you, but I didn't know where to look. So this is our search, constantly wandering, finding, and we don't know where. I think we had a wake-up retreat. There were a lot of questions about finding our true self. A consultation, and we're always looking. Somebody tell me where it is and who I am really, and what is my purpose. What am I supposed to do with my life? Looking. And you don't know where to find it and who to go to. You see the origin of Buddhism? Looking outward. Yet I've always felt your presence with a mysterious certainty. I imagine you came to Deer Park today, or you do come regularly, because you have this faith that you will find, there's something there. You have faith that it will come. It's very mysterious. It doesn't come from, writing columns of positive and negative and, analyzing things. This is good for me, this is not good for me. but it's a different type of touching. It's very mysterious. That's on the spiritual path, it's like that. I know that for thousands of lifetimes, you and I have been one. And the distance between us is only a flash of thought. This is the Buddha, the Thay's touching that Buddha nature within him. You know, that for thousands of lifetimes, you and I have been one. So think about it, like the Buddha 2,500 years ago, right? Relative to the planet, to the galaxies. It's like a blink, a hairline on the timeline of things. And all those who have been on the path, we can also touch that. So when you are able to be still and touch this truth, you feel very much connected to your ancestor and all those who have been on the spiritual path. This is Thay's line here. He touched that, and we can touch that. The distance between us is like a flash of thought. It's timeless and doesn't involve space. It's like not India or, you know, like now with planes and stuff, you can travel quite quickly. But like you and where's your relative right now? There maybe your mom is maybe not here. But it could be, might as well be in front of you because of your thought, your present. Right? Energetically, they can be right there. And that's when you're happy, you feel very connected to your ancestor, to your parents, even if they're here or not. Because of our mindfulness, because of our energy of awareness. The same as if they're physically sitting in front of you, but you don't have mindfulness, you're somewhere else, you're on your laptop, your phone, they might as well be on the other side of the planet. You see what we're getting at? The same thing with time. 30 years or yesterday. Depends on the quality of your memory. The time and space, the more we cultivate and we can touch the interbeing of time and space, makes us less anxious. Maybe we listen to the sound of the bell and touch that. Think of our loved one, our grandparents, someone endearing to us, our parents, our mother. Bring their presence because they are in every one of ourselves, still alive, still present within us. Our teacher, the Buddha, coi cái đồng hồ nó, cái đồng hồ vậy đó, em lật qua cho xem coi, hình như cái đồng hồ kia nó bị trật rồi. Okay, thank you. Yet I've always felt your presence with a mysterious certainty. I know that for thousands of lifetimes, you and I have been one. And the distance between us is only a flash of thought. Just yesterday, while walking alone, I saw the path, the old path strewn with autumn leaves, and the brilliant moon hanging over the gate suddenly appeared like the image of an old friend. When we're traveling on the path, searching, one day, everything just shouts at you, life, alive. And you will not be afraid to be drenched in the rain. You see the moon and the autumn leaves very differently. You see the human journey. You see the interconnection of life and death. The autumn leaves. It's not spring leaves. Autumn leaves fell off the tree, lying on the earth as you're walking alone. There's a part of you that don't want to step on it because it's beautiful. And there's another foot that steps on it and it crunches and it returns it to the earth. No birth, no death. The autumn leaf is so celebrating itself. It's not afraid to fall into the earth and go back to the earth. And it reflects our fear of dying, of sickness. Autumn leaf, if you have fear of wrinkles and other things, sickness. You look at a banana, you get like cancer dots. Yeah, I love looking at banana peels. Like, oh, and my hands are just like yours. I will too deteriorate, decompose, and go back to the earth. So any of you have fear of wrinkles, please look at an autumn leaf. Spotty, brown, crunchy, ready to go. Yeah, look at it. Is it afraid to get old, crumble? So that awakening, like, wow. And you realize something. So this is and a lot of that will happen alone. So sometimes these things come to us in solitude, in silence. And you become very connected to all that moves. Later on, you'll eat lunch, and you will eat lunch differently if you understand what I'm sharing and what Thay has shared. The plate of food on you is the love of the universe, Mother Earth, and everyone who's worked to bring it there, including the plate and the fork. You begin to see everything glows with love and intention. It's not like, oh, I got food, I deserve this, I bought this, my own money, I bought this food, it's mine, it's like I earned it. But now you live a spiritual eye. You look at your food very differently. You see that? Autumn leaf. Now you see the full moon. How many of you saw the full moon last night? Oh. And the coyote, did you hear the coyote call? Yeah. I felt like, all right, coyote, awaken coyote. They also freak out and celebrate when there's a full moon. It regularly happens here. And I don't think the, science will say, oh, they're doing their thing. But I think one of them is totally freaking out. Like, wow, you guys, check out the moon. That's what I heard last night. I know it's all interpretation, but there was one last night was like howling really long. I thought, really long. I was like, normally it's not that long. So that one for me, he's in the valley. I hope you meet him and bow to them. That's how you have to live, okay? Don't say that is silly, even though it's silly. But you gotta live with, invite magic and make magic in your world. Man, we're so scientific these days. It makes me like unscientific. You gotta bring imagination, because that's beautiful, That's part of it. And all the stars come to confirm that you were there. So the moon, and that confirmation, you don't need evidence. You don't need research, you don't need analysis, you don't need more articles confirming it. When you touch it, nobody can take it away from you, and you do not need proof. There's no turning back once you touch it. That is scary. Can't go back to your old ways. But it's so liberating also to shed our narrative, who we are, what our beliefs are. Oh my God, it's so nice to let that go. You know, we hold on to it so much, yeah? All night the rain of compassion continued to fall, while lightning flashed through my window and a great storm arose, as if the earth and sky were in battle. I have a feeling Thay experienced this when something happened in Vietnam. Think of wartime. So this poem probably has some of that in there. That even in the midst of bombs and destruction, the moon come up, affirming to Thay, stay in the path, it will subside. Yeah, this is our origin, deep destruction, suffering of one human family to another because of ignorance and discrimination, greed, and so on. Finally, in me, the rain stopped and the clouds departed. The moon returned, shining peacefully, calming the earth and sky. Looking into the mirror of the moon, suddenly I saw myself. I saw you smiling. This is the appeasement. To stop running, no longer searching. And what Thay found, what we all can find, is this atonement, this communion with what we're looking for. So the title of this poem, Looking for Each Other, is a beautiful title. So we start off looking for, right? And then everything around us start to remind us, hey, what are you looking for? And then finally, all the storms, the lightning subside. You see the Homo sapien? It's like, man, I don't need to jump at banana all the time. They can have all the bananas. I don't need it. It's like, what? Banana, oranges. Feeling at peace with the present moment. You as you are, with all your pain, strength, weaknesses. This is what makes life so beautiful. And we don't have to try to get rid of that anymore. That is the enlightenment. To not have a discrimination even with our suffering. So the finding peace here is coming to peace with both the suffering and the happiness. The peaceful and the unpeaceful no longer are fighting. The earth and sky is not battling anymore. There's no more war inside of you. No more struggle. This is the peace. To find peace is not to get rid of suffering, to get rid of something. That is the notion, a dualistic notion. Something we want, happiness, something we don't want, suffering. Being at peace is knowing that those two, the compost and the lotus, they need each other. You see the peace? So this is, and you smile, a gentle smile. So that's, I'll end it here. That's only half of the poem. So please continue to read this poem and discover for yourself. It's called Looking for Each Other in English. It's also online. But out in there, Thay touches that. And of course, he moves on to share with us and to share with others. So we don't just stay with our peace, but it moves us to act out of compassion, to awaken this nature in all of us. So this is what we celebrate today. The kind of like uplifting of a Homo sapien, a two-legged animal that woke up, spine upright. I don't know why they have the going raising his hand like this. The mythology, just to let you know that when the Buddha was born, is like came out walking, and he said, and then they write it down that he's like declared, I'm the one. You see human ignorance, someone wrote it down like that, but he's like, hey, come on, you guys, just chill out. That's what the Buddha said, okay? So when you see that, he's just telling us to chill out. So that's and obey the Buddha, and that's a signified, a kind of a refreshing. So when you do the Buddha, obey the Buddha, we will do it that. But I will share more of that. We will have a ceremony now. And part of that ceremony, we will include procession and the whole deal. I'll share with you more about what today means, the act, the performance, the ritual that we will perform. So please enjoy your day here. Thank you for listening. And we hope you enjoy your day today. Please let's listen to 3 sounds of the bell and come back to our human family, beyond our culture, beyond our nationality, beyond even our ethnic background. See us in this evolution of this mind, this spirit, the human journey. Breathing in, I close my eyes and I come in touch with the very journey that the Buddha was on, bringing me to this moment.